hello, hello, hello. There we go. We have mic audio. Sorry about that, folks. I was talking the whole time and it wasn't working. I'm really glad we verified. Now, one quick thing I gotta do is get the Discord link posted in the comments down below. But welcome in. Welcome in. We're celebrating our first 100 hours in the KSP today. Woohoo! I need to get Jeb a medal for dealing with me. Alright. Double check and verify audio still up and running. This is a breasted message. Alright, yep, we have audio. Alright, I think we're good. So welcome in, guys. Man, it feels like it's been forever since I've been live, but it's only been 7 days. In the land of Kerbals, that is a lifetime. Oh my goodness. So, one of the things I really wanted to do for this is I kind of wanted to, like, review a little bit of what I've learned from the Kerbal Space Program. And look at that, Kerbin right there against the solar backdrop. It's beautiful. The big blue dot. Well, tiny. Kerbal's actually pretty tiny. So, one of the first things that I really did learn is how bad for the solar environment I actually am. So this is our tracking station. You know what? We'll go out to the beginning. We'll go out to the very beginning. This is the Kerbal Space Center. That's the very first thing I learned in this game. Believe it or not, the Kerbal Space Center is right here. It is the only known structure on the surface of Kerbin so far. Haven't found any cities or buildings of any kind, so this is all we get. Which makes me wonder if Kerbin civilization isn't subaquatic in nature, hidden under the waves of the vast oceans. I don't know, but it keeps me awake in the morning. Because I work third shift. I don't sleep at night. I sleep in the morning. I just woke up, actually. Pretty awesome, fun third shifter. But go in the tracking station here, and you get this lovely view. And you can zoom out and see the entire Kerbal system without the Outer Planets mod, because we're not cool enough to have a PC. And it looks normal. But I learned that if you click this button right here, you can see how much pollution we've left in the Kerbal system. And I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse, right? But I also learned, all this is mission debris left over. Look at this. We got Mark II. Long Pig. It's been a long time since we've used the Long Pig. That was one of the, I think that was the second, launch system that we used. All the way back to the first launch system, the Mark II. So we've been leaving debris everywhere. And I also learned that some of this debris, and you would think that some of this debris would deorbit and decay, but it doesn't. Look at that. We left that one on our last trip to Duna. We've left a lot of debris. And I think there was a way to actually recover it. But I don't think we can recover them, that are the ones that are actually in space. You would think that one would deteriorate eventually. And we left some around the Mun. I know. Poor solar bears. Oh, look. See, we can recover some of these. So some of these we can clean up. Not many of them. Not many of them. But some of them we can clean up. And I think we're actually getting the money for recovery back from them. I don't know for sure. I do know. It's just responsible for the environment if the KSC take responsibility. Could you imagine if this actually costed money to recover these? I mean, we have money to burn, but... So yeah, I learned that. That's something we learned in our first 100 hours. Yeah, no, Tetra. For sure. For sure. And, yep. It took me over 100 hours to figure out how to do this. How you doing today, though, bro? Welcome in. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Today, though, the main focus of what we're going to be doing is we need to conquer Duna. So, the last time I was live, I was struggling quite a bit. Whoops, buttons everywhere. To return from Duna. And I'm happy to say that we actually did make our return. And we got a fair bit of science. We came back with about 3,000 science to spend, and I spent it. I really want these experimental RCGs. It's a radioisotope thermoelectric generator. Nuclear power! Yeah. But where's the one that I was really happy to get? I'm not sure which category it was. Oh well, but it's not important. But it's a little important. I think it's this one, maybe? Nope. Nope. But we ended up unlocking air brakes. Oh, we got cargo bay now. Like, we have all these goodies. The Goliath. Turbofan engine. Yeah, yep. The RTGs are a passive backup. Now, the thing about the RTGs that's mildly important, the Mark III cockpit capacity 4. Ooh. That might be worth getting. That's 3.9 tons, though. That's a little heavy. That might be worth using, though. I can't seem to find the dang air brakes. But the air brakes are important because it fixes some of the problems we've been having on rough re-entries. And let me tell you, my trip back from Duna was sketchy. It was super sketchy. So, hold on, we'll go back to the tracking station and I'll give you a play-by-play. So, what ended up happening is we were here at Duna, and we had something like 800 meters per second, something like that left. We had a really low amount of fuel left. and I was having trouble forcing a Kerbin encounter here. So eventually I ended up saying, send it. And I went on my way. And I made a couple of mid-course corrections and finally got my my Kerbin encounter. But I got my Kerbin encounter with something like 600 to 700 meters per second left. Maybe even lower. It might have been lower. It could have been closer to like 400 or 500 meters per second. Because I know when I finally plotted my last course, I did not have enough to slow down and circularize. I couldn't even get an eccentric orbit. I was just barely shy of being able to get a capture around Kerbin. So I was like, you know what? We have one choice and one chance to do this. So I used up a little bit of fuel on a mid-course correction. It was a super small amount, like less than 1 meters per second. It was like 0.8. And I came in super hot at a super eccentric angle. And we came in and we re-entered Kerbin's atmosphere at like 44,000 meters per second or something, which I think is something like Mach 9. Mach 8, something like that. So we came in super duper hot, and my periapsis was set to 18,000 meters. 18,000 meters. So there was no real aero braking, because I was really concerned that if I did an aero brake maneuver, that I would still be going so fast that I would come in and just get slung back out. And I did not have enough meters per second in the tank to fix it if that happened. So we came in super hot. And then we used up the last 350 meters per second or 400 meters per second that we had while we were re-entering to slow ourselves down. Mind you, we only slowed down to about 32 or 3,300 meters per second in that ballpark, so we were still cooking it super bad. And then tragedy struck. Draining the fuel out of our tanks during re-entry changes our center of mass and makes the Getsuga want to flip upside down and go nose first. Now the problem with that is that none of the parachutes will respond if we're going perfectly nose first. They're all set up to have the nose of the aircraft behind the craft. So what did I ended up having to do? I was burning our monopropellant. We had about half of our monopropellant left. And I burned the monopropellant, shaking it back and forth. And I finally, at 8,000 meters and something like, I don't know, a stupid, ridiculously high speed, got the drag chutes to deploy just in time to slow us down. Like, when we hit the ground, I'm telling you, oh my God, it was a nail biter. And I tried this so many times. I took so long that I actually wasn't even recording. And then I had an oopsie moment. Hold on, let me read. Air brakes are weird, but I don't build airplanes. The Mark III is a space shuttle. Yep. A small course correction like that is okay, but when you need even finer controls. Yep, and I learned how to do our RCS controls on the PS5 controller. Yep, I was just about to say that. I learned how to change the parachutes to deploy when risky. But hold on, let me show you. So the air brakes are typically not super useful on the rockets. But what they can do, and where they are really useful at, let's open up the Mark 10, which is basically the craft that I'm using right now. The Mark 10, Mark 9, the Mark 10. So this is the new Mark 10 that we're kind of using for stuff, and I don't remember. Okay, so yeah. So if you come up here and check this out, once I drop my last stage, and I honestly way overdid it on the monopropellant. I mean, I can get rid of that, really, and just use a couple of small canisters, because this has 750 units of monopropellant. I overdid that. But in the final stage, this top part right here is all that's left on re-entry. If I jettison the sail stage, the interplanet, the booster stage. So once hold on. Once I do that, come on. Yeah, it's not even giving me a center of mass. But once I do this, we have very little control, and the ship always wants to go nose first. So, where the air brakes are actually super handy, there we go, is if I deploy them, they create just enough drag to keep the bottom of the craft down. That's the only reason. They do help slow you down a little bit, but what the most important part about this design right here is that the drag they create makes it to where the ship won't flip nose down. And it gives you that little bit of peace of mind that you're not going to just flip and roll. But this bad boy is the Getsuga Mark 10. No more modifications, no more additions. Now, the other thing I'm struggling with, I know you're going to look at this and be like, oh, Apollo, six SRBs is a little extreme. I agree. 6 SRBs are a little extreme. But I am having some trouble getting the asparagus staging to really work. You know what, we'll save that, because we did make a little bit of a modification. Let's go to the Mark 8, I think. So, the Mark 8 is supposed to be a better overall ship than the Mark 10, because it's completely liquid-fueled power. Now, I tried wrapping my brain around this asparagus staging, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting the fuel systems to drain properly. So if I click here and go here, you can see that for some reason the fuel wants to go up here first and then drain from the bottom, and I don't want that. I want the fuel to drain from the top to the bottom. So I'm having a hard time fixing that. So you can see this craft overall has just under 9,000 meters per second in its current configuration, which is amazing. That's actually a really good number for most of the missions that we want to do. The problem being, I can't get these to drain properly. So now, in the idea that I had, what would normally go ahead and happen is that this tank and this tank should drain first, feeding fuel into the center stage. Okay? And then these tanks would start draining. Not only burning, but funneling fuel, into this center stage. Now, the center stage is almost working right. Now, the only problem I have is this right here, because I want the fuel to drain from the top down, keeping the weight at the tail end of the craft as much as possible. But I also thought, by the time we're using this stage, it might be better to drain from the bottom up, because this stage is an orbiting stage. This is to circularize the orbit and potentially start our interplanetary trajectory. And in all honesty, there's enough fuel here that it could probably get us on an interplanetary trajectory pretty easily. but I cannot for the life of me get the fuel staging right. So you can see right here, the flow priority for this is 60. That's not good. Wait, no, that is good for this one. This one is 60. This one is 50. This one is 60, 50, 60. Yeah, see, the fuel staging is all over the place on this, and I haven't been able to figure out how to get them to change properly. So this is kind of a stalled idea. But look over here. The build itself, as it sits, does not have enough thrust to weight ratio. The thrust to weight ratio is only 1.0, and we need it to be about 1.3 in order to get anywhere. Because a 1.0 is horrible. The ship barely flies. And you can see all the boosters are completely, thrust limiters completely at 100%. The only thing I could really do is reduce the weight on it. And I'm just, I don't know. So the Mark 8's kind of a stalled idea. Hey! What's happening? There's a microscopic-ish all Mark 0 part rocket, spark engine, small inline wheel battery probe of choice, and energy generated by engine. Oh, it's interesting. Also, separation. Oh, yeah. We definitely need the separation boosters. I just hadn't made it that far, and in all honesty, there's no reason to continue this build if I can't get that TDR or TWR up just a tiny little bit. And I keep wondering, could I get the thrust to weight ratio up at all by fixing the fuel flow issue? But I just have not been able to wrap my head around what I'm supposed to do to fix the asparagus staging on this, or if it's a completely lost cause, because this craft is just too heavy. And I could remove 2 of the boosters. I've thought about making the boosters on the second stage about half as big as they actually are. But then what happens is I drop my meters per second from almost 9,000 down to about 6. And then the ship becomes useless when compared to the Mark 10. Also, flow priority is controlling drain. I don't think cross-feed is important unless one uses solid fuel, so if low on fuel, you don't need to change anything other than the throttle to save it. Okay. Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around the fuel consumption and how to do it. But in all honesty, come on. In all honesty, the Mark 10, and I even had an idea to make the Mark 10 a little bit more efficient. Because I'm thinking about using 4 SRBs on the initial takeoff. So you can see down here the Mark 10 has just under 7,000 meters per second with a thrust to weight ratio of about 1.31. And I think, yep, that's the thrust limiters for the SRBs are set at 90%. And I was wondering about what would happen if I changed up the staging on this a little bit, but every time I do, I lose that thrust to weight ratio considerably, and we don't want that. This craft functions really, really well, and we're gonna try to take this to Duna. I did a test flight. This rocket stage right here, the final stage, we made it all the way to the Mun and back with over 3,200 meters per second left. So I was able to use the SRBs to get up into an orbital height. The main booster, I used a little bit of this Delta V right here in order to get it into a good orbit and get us to the Mun, and all the way around and circularize around the Mun. And I ended up having most of this Delta V left. So what we're going to try is for this... Oh, and another thing that I learned in the first 100 hours, you guys will be proud of me, I learned action groups. And we have our action groups actually set up for this craft. Juicy, right? But we're going to take Jeb, Bill, and Bob, and we're going to try to hit Duna. We're going to try to hit Duna. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Kerbal Space Center. Watch me be all professional. Oh, yeah. Yep. We've had a few Kraken attacks on this journey. What was I just doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're looking up the Duna transfer window, which, if my Matt Lown song serves me, I believe it's 45 degrees. Because if you draw a line from Kerbin to the sun and then to Duna, the angle of that line should be about 45 degrees. Yep, I was right. Yay for sing-along. So, we're going to go to the tracking station. We're going to see where we're at right now. Okay, so we are way off. So we're going to have to do... Whoops. Kerbin, thank you. We're going to have to do some good old time warping. Whoops. What did I just do? Oh well. That's not going to hurt nothing. Come on. Actually, we may want to use this time. Let me go check something real quick before we lose money. Alright, build a new orbital station around the Mun. I think we have time before we need to worry about that. We could do it! We could do it. Conduct temperature surveys of Kerbin. I need to build a plane for this before it expires. There's only 1 year left, though. We're only going to lose $64,000. I mean, it's not... I accidentally accepted that contract a long time ago. Map 9 asteroids. So... we could potentially do these two in one shot. We could go take a trip to Minmus and knock out these two real quick just to get those caches. That would pay. That would basically pay for the rocket launch. Planting a flag on Ike is what we're gonna do when we get to Duna. But these two, I think we have the technology to do this. And we have the know-how, which is pretty important. So we know the 45-degree song, so... The Mun, yeah. Funny enough you say that, because omelet is the only word in French, or well, one of the only words in French that I actually know. So, what we're going to do for this is we're going to just build... Whoops, I don't want to open. I want new craft. We're just going to quickly throw together... Let me see. So what's the difference between these? Is one of the most complete command units. Alright, so we'll do that then. And for this, we will use this. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Oh, my face hurts now. So, after that, we need a little bit of a fuselage. We don't need the cargo bay. Cargo ramp? Oh, that's neat. Maybe we could finally build... We'll close it in to protect it. That's going to be the headcanon, is that we need to protect it from solar rays. Then we need to put that on it, because that's the purpose of this entire mission. What else should we throw in here? We don't need everything. We're going to need some communications. Maybe we should throw a relay antenna on it just to have a multi-purpose craft. We're gonna need communications, so we got communications, and this one... I think this one's the most powerful antenna we have. I'm pretty sure. I think it is. We're gonna need some kind of fuel, but this is going to be a super small light craft, so I don't think we're gonna need a whole ton of fuel, really. Even that might be just too much. I don't know exactly what we're going to need for Delta V on this. I think that's just going to be super big. So what do we got in this? We got 1125. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I do have a habit of overthinking when it comes to Delta V, because why? Why does this do this to me? My camera controls don't work at all. Oh my goodness. Alright, alright. What? Sat 1. Yeah, my camera controls are not responding, so we'll go ahead and save the craft. Solar panels required to not shut down forever. Jet engines are the only ones that also generate electricity passively because they're running even when no thrust. Okay. Alright, so back to the VAB. Now, I heard tell that the nuclear engines generate electricity. Is there any truth to that one, or is that horse hockey? And I don't like this. This needs to change. This bugs my This bugs my brain. Oh, come on. Alright, that can't change. Alright, whatever, dude. Alright, what was I just doing? Oh, yeah. We need a tiny little bit of monopropellant. Like, laughably small amount. Basically, we just need it so that way we have it. Oh, not engines. But actually, we're going to change this tank, too. Because while it looks... What the shit is happening here? Thank you. My game is lagging. Because I want more of a flat surface to mount on. That's overkill. That's overkill by a lot. There we go. That should be plenty. And then we're going to power that with nothing more than a Terrier. A Terrier should even be overpowered for this job. I think that is more than enough for what we're doing here. So let's go and review. Oh, monopropellant. That's the other thing we need. Monopropellant. We need a little bit of monopropellant. So we're going to go ahead and just... Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Just a little bit of monopropellant. Even that's probably way more than we're going to need. Alright, so we have power, we have control, we have communications, we have monopropellant. We should probably put some RCS thrusters in place. That might be nice if we're taking monopropellant. That's under here, correct? Correct. We're going to do four-way symmetry. Where's... Aha! So, we'll put these here. And I don't think we're going to be able to center it too well. But that should give us more than enough control. Like I said, this... you know what? Now that I think about it, we do need something here. We need... Oh, wait. We need a reaction wheel. Man, that just looks stupid, though. Hold on. Oh, engine. We'll take this and what the deuce? There we go. There we go. Now she looks more pretty. Alright, so let's put that on there. We have the engine, more than enough fuel, because by the time we reach this stage, that should be fine. Now, for solar, we don't want to get in the way. Oh, wait, that's way too many. Oh, no! I forgot we had four-way symmetry on. We only need two-way symmetry on for these bad boys. And that will provide more than ample solar power. And we're going closer to the sun, I do believe. The Kerbal. Yes, reaction wheels are super important. Not only do they not use monopropellant, but the advanced reaction wheel gives you a super fair amount of control over the craft. Oh, and that reminds me. Thank you for reminding me. We need to disable the yaw, pitch, and roll for the RCS thrusters, because that's just a waste of monopropellant with a reaction wheel. That's something else we've learned in 100 hours on KSP. Port, starboard, dorsal, ventral. I mean, I think that's fine. Now, did that change it for all of them? We need to check. Yep, it changed it for all of them. Another fun thing you guys might not know. So we have communications. We have power. Look at that. Look at all that juicy power. Now, that power should be more than enough. Like, this power should even be overkill for this. Close. I think that's pretty much all we need for this to satisfy the contract. It should be able to maintain connection to the KSC. It has the Miggy Majiggy on it. We have around 900 meters per second. Maybe... Definitely don't need the nuclear engine. Maybe the Terrier's not the right choice for this. 240, 215. What's the engine stops under 10%? The vacuum is 345. Yeah, but the 310, 320. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with the Terrier because what I'm looking at is the engine ISP, and we're not going to be using it inside of an atmosphere. So we're looking at the vacuum ISP of about 345. And the other favorite engine of mine, which is the Swivel, which offers a vectoring range of 3.0. But, wow, I did not realize that the Terrier offered a higher vector rate. Huh. The more you know. But, yeah, we're going to stick with the Terrier. That's a good choice for this application. Von Cringe Turbine. I like it. Alright, so now, am I forgetting anything? I don't think we're forgetting anything. This should satisfy the contract really nicely. I'm really just worried about the 913, but I think... Whoops, come on. Those janky controls kicking in there. That's annoying, if I do say so myself. Don't worry, I'm not leaving it like that. We are going to put good old decoupler on here. And not only a decoupler, under payload, so that looks all nice and pretty now. And we have wait, what's that? Oh, cheese and crackers. Why is there two of them? What just happened here? Oh, Jeebus. We lost all of our internal organs. Okay, this is where the jank comes in for this. Oh, come on. Really? Alright. Fudge. Did I save it? Because I'm not sure how to fix it once it gets this bad. Sat 1. Did I save it? Oh my goodness. Sat 1. Ah, come on! Alright, that's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Alright, Tetro, thanks for dropping on. And a vacuum, and even with as a replacement for bigger engines, it is crazy. Huh. That's no relay. Yes, I gotta go. Should I put relay on here? Maybe we should. I don't know. Oh my goodness, I don't want to build all of it again, but we don't have a choice anymore. Alright, back to building everything we just did again. Welcome to where I've spent most of my time in KSC. I think that's the same engine we just used. Whatever. I'm not mad about it. We need to put the power back on, which is a two-way symmetry. I don't want that to mess with. That should be fine. So we have communications. You know what I can do is take this here and put this here. It'll make it look better. Put that here. We have communication. You know what? He's got me paranoid now. Tetro's got me super paranoid. Oh, stupid, 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 stupid. We'll put a relay antenna, just because I'm paranoid now. Alright, so we have communications, we have direct communications and relay. That should be more than enough communications. We have power, we have RCS. We need an engine! Which We went with the Terrier, so let's go with the Terrier again. That gives us 1237 overall. Not too bad. You know, we could go nuclear. 3 tons. It's literally 2.5 tons more heavy, though. How much oxidizer does this? How much weight does the oxidizer? Thrust. Oh, where's the weight? Is it in the engineering report? So it's 20 tons. Let's just say 20 tons. So if I drain the oxidizer out. Huh. Half of the weight of this entire ship, half of the entire mass. Huh. We saved 5 tons by using the nuclear engine instead. I think I'm going to go with the nuclear engine over the Terrier. We saved a lot of weight. That's super, super awesome. Overkill? A little bit. Awesome factor? Maxed out. You know what? We're gonna leave it like that. I like that better. Alright, now we need structural. We need this bad boy in here. And on that bad boy, we are going to put our monopropellant tanks, because monopropellant boosters don't do a whole lot of good if you don't have monopropellant for them to use. And now they have monopropellant to use. Oh, let's see. We have booster, we have reaction wheel, we have power, we have communications, we have backup communications, we have the payload. Is there anything else this baby needs while I'm thinking about it? No, 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 no. Alright, let's go ahead and close that. We need a fairing. So we got a fairing. Now we need to change the fairing settings too. We need to up this just a tiny bit. And I like the clamshell deployment myself. Alright. So now, we're going to save it again. Satellite 1. This is the very first satellite I've ever built, guys. We're going to go here. I'm going to put a Mark 10 booster pack on this bad boy. Oh, this is the old Mark 10. Very cool. That makes me happy. This is the original Mark 10 booster pack, guys. This should be the Rhino. Yep, Rhino. And then we have our SRBs. Let's see what the thrust to weight ratio is. 1.09. I need that to be just a little bit higher. Let's go 80-ish%. 1.16. I want that to be around 1.3. 1.23, that's fine. 1.23 is what we in the business call close enough. Alright. Just a last quick check. Let's save it. Is there anything that I'm forgetting? Probably, but... Oh, auto strut would be pretty helpful. That way we don't rip this bad boy apart by accident. That's fine. Alright, so... In all honesty, I think this should be more than enough delta V. It should be more than enough. The thrust to weight ratio, that gives us 3,000 in that one. Ooh, it should be enough. Should be. I'm wondering if we shouldn't put one more stage below this, though, just to make sure we can circularize. It should be enough. Where is this at? What's that coming from? Alright, we need to... how do I hide the fairing? I know you can do it. I've done it before. I thought I've done it before. Edit fairing, delete fairing, rigid attachment, auto strut, inner stage nodes, truss, fairing. I thought you could hide it though. Huh. I guess I'm tripping? I guess I'm tripping. I think I am going to add one more stage just because I'm not confident that we'll be able to circularize. It's such a hard decision because I think we can. I'm like 80% sure that we can. What is this? 6,000. Yeah. Wait, did we make sure that we took the oxidizer out? Yes, we did. Okay. Engines. Let's see. Swivel 167. 1.5. This is lighter. It has a vacuum thrust at 240. What about the skipper? The skipper has a vacuum thrust of 650 at 3 tons. It's considerably heavier. Do I have the poodle? 1.75 tons with 250. We're gonna go with the poodle engine for this stage. That should be everything we need, and it should give me the peace of mind that we can make sure that we can circularize pretty effectively. So, let's see what we got. Overall we can change that a little bit by just jacking that all the way up. 1.29, that's pretty close to 1.3. So we're not going to fuss over that a whole lot. So let's go over, first of all, stage, or save, not stage. Go over our staging. So first things first is the trusses release and the SRBs fire. After the SRBs are exhausted, it drops the SRBs and fires main engine. After main engine, well, let's just scroll up. After the main engine is exhausted, it fires here. We rely on the Poodle engine. Fires here. Yep, and then it relies on the Poodle engine to finish circularizing and probably get us on our way. After the Poodle engine, we can fire the fairing and fire the decoupler above the fairing, and then we're reliant on the nuclear stage engine, which is here. Now, we have the satellite, we have primary communications and relay, we have monopropellant, we have battery reaction wheel, we have solar panels, we have RCS thruster with RCS fuel. I think we're ready for launch. I don't see any problems. Yeah. So save. Launch. Alright, now, before we actually launch... Actually, no, we can just launch and check all that later. So what we're going to do is pop this bad boy open. Last chance to go back. Isn't that just a beautiful looking ship, though? Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys are dropping in for the first time, you guys came just in time. We are launching our very first satellite. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate. We're doing really well. We're coming up on 10,000 meters. All is going smooth. And kind of get our gravity turn going. Then we're going to start our rotational. Oh, our staging was freaking wrong. All right. Our staging was wrong. This is why we always check your staging. This has to go down here, right? So, stage, rocket. Where are these extra rockets coming from? Oh, I think I see it. All right. Let's try that one more time. Oopsie poopsie! Let's do that again. I knew that launch was going far too smooth. That looks cool. Alright, we're gonna start our gravity turn just a tiny bit. We don't want to do it too much. We just want to pull that nose towards 90 degrees a little bit. We're almost ready to start our rotation, our decoupling rotation. So we're going to start that about now. Make sure we get good rotation. Ooh. We have a weak point in our rocket. That is not good. Come on, where's our... I forgot to turn this. So we're getting over the atmosphere, which is good. Because we have a wobbly rocket. Nobody wants a wobbly rocket. When you're trying to get your rocket up, you don't want it to be wobbly. I should be able to just lock it on prograde, right? Come on. Do you know how long it took for your... Do you know how long it took for me to get a piece? How long? 229 hours? We made it to Duna with a manned mission in about 80 hours. But the problem is I'm still struggling with Delta V. And my rocket is so wobbly. Why? Auto strut. Is that it? Is that why I forgot to turn auto strut on? Yep, that's exactly why. What the... these controls are so jank. I envy you, PC players. I envy you. The controls are so freaking weird in this. Alright, hold on. We need to... Maybe I should have put another reaction wheel on. Holy crap, I didn't think this was that heavy. But that's bad. Oh my goodness, this launch is going so horrible. Alright, we need to fix this right now. Oh, nope, there's no fixing this. God bless America. Let's see. $3,000. Holy cow, man. That is cool, though. I have about 108 hours total. And the biggest thing that I'm struggling with right now, overall, is I have another rocket system that I've been working on for about 30 hours-ish, and I cannot get my fuel systems to work right on my liquid fuel rockets. So I have another rocket called the Mark 8 that was designed to take over for the SRBs, because the SRBs are kind of trash. But the Mark 8 has a problem where I can... Wait, is auto strut... There we go. But the liquid fuel engines, I cannot get the asparagus fuel staging correct. I can't get the rocket to actually consume fuel the way I want it to. So I end up with something like 5,000 meters per second worth of delta V, and I can't, for the life of me, figure it out. The only reason we're launching this satellite before we go to Duna, the only reason we're launching this before the Duna mission is simply because I want to use the time to launch this to get closer to a Duna window. I'll get my apoapsis up way higher. Why am I not getting my rotation? I put a reaction wheel in this. It should... Oh, that's why. Alright. Let's start going after some orbital speed. Oh, God bless it. Come on, we need to get that speed up. Thank you. There we go. Now we're cooking with some propane and propane accessories. That was a sloppy launch, but it should be okay. We have more than enough fuel in this stage that we should be more than okay. So we have about 100. So let's start angling down a tiny bit to pick up more speed over altitude. Come on, get back on that 90-degree mark, buddy. There we go. Not 91. Stop it! 90. 90. Get to 90. This is a really sloppy launch. I'm only got 108 hours in, though. And honestly, a lot of that is build time. Let's see. You need struts. Huh, interesting. I feel bad for console players. I can't imagine life without mods. Oh, dude, it's not a great life, but it's a life nonetheless. It is a life nonetheless. If I had to... Because, honestly, I tell people all the time that if I had to choose between not playing at all and playing on console, I would rather play on console than not at all. It's a fun game. It is worth playing. Is my thrust limiter set down? No? I feel like we're losing a lot of altitude really fast. I think, in all honesty, the biggest challenge on console is the controls. That's, for me, the absolute biggest challenge. Don't dip below 70, come on. You know what? Tactical decision. We gotta lighten the craft up. Get more thrust out of this. Come on, baby. We need more power. Scotty, give her all you got. Come on. We need this. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting a basic orbit right now. Maybe I engineered this craft completely wrong, honestly. And I thought it would be easy. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get a good orbit on this. We're not gaining enough. We're not gaining more than we're losing, and we're 500 meters away from atmosphere. Yep. Shit. Alright, alright. No, let's see. Let's play this out for a quick minute. This is just a really bad launch. I think I overestimated my gravity turn. Maybe we need to change our ascent profile to be a little bit more steep. Or maybe I don't really have much of a problem. Well, I'm about to have problems because I know I'm getting atmospheric drag right now. But we're still accelerating, so there's a chance that we got this. It's just going to be super expensive. $10,000, come on. We need that periapsis. We need that bad boy up. We need it up like right now. We need that above 80,000. Yeah, this may not work. 50, come on. Well, maybe we got this. Let's just try to burn all the way up. Let's try to get our ass out of this atmosphere. I cannot believe it. We may have done this. We're going to have a really crappy orbit, but... Where are we in this? Let's just see what happens with this. Oh my goodness, we may have done it, and we still have a really healthy amount of Delta V left for this mission. Oh, dude, I've seen a lot of content creators for KSP talk about the console version and how bad it is. And once I can afford a PC, let's go ahead and lock to prograde. Once I can afford a PC, I'm definitely getting one. And I'm going to get Kerbal on the PC. But for now, the PS5's all I got, and I love this game. I'm in love with it. The controls are janky. The interface is kind of weird. But it's a fun time. I enjoy the challenge. I mean, in 100 hours, I've only gotten to Duna to do an orbit. I did land on Ike. Alright, so let's do this. Let's get back to a prograde vector. So this is going to be my second trip to Duna, not this rocket. This rocket is just a satellite. See? Look at her and all her beauty. I love that clamshell deploy like that. That is gorgeous. Oh. Alright, so just for giggles, let's get that going. Let's get these going. What power did I use up there? Which one is it? Yeah, we didn't use too much power, but we'll get the solar panels going. Just for funsies. Alright, now where am I at in this flight? We let that apoapsis go by us, but that's okay. Oh, and look, we earned a trophy! Or an achievement for you STEAM-minded individuals. Alright, and now our orbit is not pretty, but it is in fact stable. So now... Whoops. We need to... where's the one that shows your contracts? Let's see. Sentinel. Designated orbit. Where's the designated orbit? How do you show the designated orbit? Where's the designated orbit? I thought it showed it. Why doesn't it show it? Oh, that's mildly annoying. Alright, let's go to the Space Center. Win, yes! W! I thought for sure we were about to burn up in the atmosphere. Alright, so... let's... Sentinel satellite, 10 million... So how do I show this? We're going to go for this one first. Deadline 52 years. Oh, maybe we should do this one first. It's a 24-year deadline. 10 million... Or is that 10,259,000? How do you show it? In the tracking station. Hold on. Toggle probes, rovers, landers, ships, satellites. How do you show your contracts? I've seen people do this. How do I... Oh my goodness, how am I supposed to know where the orbit's at? I have had... We may have hit a brick wall here. Because I'm not 100% sure where this contract orbit is. A new station that has an antenna and has a docking port. Oh. That's kind of weird, right? Why doesn't it... Whoops. So, why doesn't it show it? This is really annoying. And, okay, we're not coming up on our Duna transfer window yet, so we're not super worried about that. So... Eve is 9 million. So it's got to be on the outside of Eve. So I guess what we're going to do is add a maneuver here. We're going to skip ahead a couple of orbits. And we're going to burn prograde like crazy and see what happens. Whoops. So... So what does that put? 11 million. $11 million. $11 million. $10 million. What's the target? That's a 4-minute burn. Holy cow. I don't think I've ever had a burn that long before. 10,957,000, and we need 258. So... hold on. 10, need a little bit more. Whoops, we're going the wrong way. My bad. And we're not going to try to get this exactly right. 320, 258. I don't know how much is how picky they're going to be about it. $258. That's got to be within enough, right? So this burn comes up in 1 hour. So we're going to lock onto the target. Now with a 4-minute burn, ooh, 4-minute burn is quite a lot. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. It says there's 3 people in here. Thank you so much for dropping into my little stream where we're trying rocket science. We're on our way to Duna. We have a vehicle ready to go to Duna, or at least attempt to. And we're going to attempt to try and land on Duna even. And we may end up tweaking our vehicle a little bit and trying to throw a rover on there, maybe. Not a rover, I mean a landing can. Or we could make the executive decision to use the Getsuga in its current configuration, which is capable of landing on the Moon, Minmus, and Ike. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for a Duna transfer window, we really wanted to get this contract up here done and put a Sentinel satellite in a solar orbit, because we're running out of time to do it. And, I mean, rather than fast forward a year and lose that time, I figured we could throw a satellite up in orbit real quick and it wouldn't hurt us too much. Now, since this is a rather large burn, I mean, we're talking about a 4-minute and 22-second burn, it might be beneficial to break this down into 2 smaller burns. So instead of a 4-minute and 22-second burn, we do 2 smaller 2-minute and 12-second burns. Or, I mean, 2-minute and 11-second burns. Because, I mean, we're not aiming for a target exactly. We're aiming more for just a general area in space. So it may be wise to do that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. Actually, quick save. Alright, so we're coming up on the burn. Let's see what we have for this. Yeah, it may be worth... Oh, well, you know what? No, we're not going to overthink this. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to brute force it. We're going to put the burn onto high gear. We have hopefully enough altitude to pull it off. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Really kind of wondering if a 4-minute burn is too many minutes. Three. All right. Here we go. We're going to start burning at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. We can fast forward a little bit more, but we don't want to overcook that. We don't want to get too liberal with the time warping. All right, here we go. Almost there. 11 seconds. 11 seconds. 13, 12, 11, burn. Wait, what? Wait! What's up? I heard you. I'm sorry. We're not burning no more. Abort. We have the command from Mission Control to abort the burn. What you got for me? What you got, Star Striker? Oh, keep burning? Oh, shit. Alright, so we're burning, but we're paused. What you got for me, Star? Talk to me, Goose. A burn indicator? What do you mean? I've never seen that before. A burn indicator. I've never seen that on the console version before. I know the console version doesn't have the timer either. There's an alarm clock type of thing that I see a lot of PC players use that I don't have. Burn indicator. Let me see. I don't think so. I've never seen. Yeah, no. The console version doesn't have everything the PC version has, unfortunately. Yeah. It's the world I live in, man. It's a dark world, but it's a world. I live for the day where I can grab a PC and play this on PC proper. And the first thing I'm doing is downloading the first mod I'm getting. The first mod is going to be the Outer Planets mod. I don't care. I'll stab someone for an Outer Planets mod right now. Look at that poodle engine putting in work. I just love saying poodle engine. I don't know who decided to call it a poodle engine, but bravo. Now you need a Labrador engine. I heard that there's a DLC that has a Wolfhound engine. Oh, dude, I've watched. So the two biggest creators that I watch for learning experiences is Matt Lown and Mike. I always forget his name. Matt Lown and Mike. What's the other guy's name? I forget. It is one of the Apollo engines? I did not know that. Wolfhound is making history. I need the Making History mod, or the Making History DLC, and I really want Making History and Breaking Grounds. I wouldn't mind all of them, honestly. Matt Lown and Mike. His name is escaping me. Why is my Wi-Fi not on? That's probably why I'm having so many problems loading stuff. Mike Abbin. Yeah, Abbin, that's the guy. I love his content. I've learned so much from Mike Abbin. Now, the one thing that I'm considering doing once I finish all the end game content and have everything done that I want in the console version, I'm considering doing a little bit of a tutorial, because out of all the tutorials that I've found on YouTube for KSP, the thing that's missing is a tutorial for the console. A lot of the problems I've had as a console player is figuring out the controls. So the problem being is that all the content creators for KSP use mouse and keyboard, which is a far better system, admittedly. But when you're trying to figure out, like as a new player, in the first 100 hours, trying to figure out the controls has been a nightmare. Because when you watch these tutorials, they do a very good job at walking you through how to do stuff. But when they say, oh, in order to do this, all you have to do is hold shift and hit this button. And I'm like, I don't have shift. So I know that a lot of hate comes in, the form of the console edition. I get it. I do. But I would really love it if the community itself would understand that not everybody has a PC and not everybody can afford to just go get one. So I want to try to get some of the people who might be interested in playing on the console, give them so why is my apoapsis negative? 192. So what is our target? Man, our target takes us really close to Eve. Maybe I should have put some science on board this thing and did a flyby of Eve. So how long is it going to take us to get there? Quite a while. It's going to take us a long time to get there. So I think what we're going to do, maybe do a little bit of time warping just to see her off. Just to see her off. As she leaves Kerbal's sphere of influence. Actually, I want to double check. It should be fine. It should be fine. Where's my one screen? Yeah, see, we have plenty of electric charge, more than enough monopropellant. I think we're good. Looked up Mike KSP. Yeah, Mike Abbin is. If you're hungry for a really good tutorial, that man, he nails it. He has so much good advice, so many good tutorials, and he does a fantastic job. Like, not trying to be a fanboy, but it is what it is. he he nails the Kerbal tutorial scene with a grace that I can't explain. And then Matt Lown, he does an amazing job at creating consumable content for Kerbal. Like, he does some of the tutorial deals, but mostly I watch him for how he does his builds. And the impressive part about him is that his builds are super massive. Like, he can put some massive structures out into whatever orbit and mission he wants. I'm kind of jelly. But we're going to We're going to go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. We're leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence. Bye, Kerbin. This vessel should never return. And this is the point where I realize I forgot something incredibly important. But now what we're going to do is we're going to launch our Duna mission. Yeah, for some reason my phone is not wanting to connect to my Wi-Fi right now, which would make looking stuff up on the fly a lot easier. So, now that we have the satellite on its way, and this is the point where I really wish I had the Kerbal alarm clock. We're going to pull up the Mark 10. And this is the monstrosity that is going to get us to Duna. And I'm just hoping and praying that we have enough delta for this. Hoping and praying is the key. Because that's how we solve all of life's problems. So that. Where's... This can go down here. This, then that. We're gonna take and put these down here. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, I think that looks nice. So now, the last thing we need to do, Bill, Bob, and Jeb. Now, the other thing in this mission that is going to be fun is that I hear tell that Bill here, as an engineer, can repack parachutes once they're deployed. I've never tested this before. So... the idea is to use the parachutes on Duna to help slow us down, because this is going to be super duper duper heavy. And actually, now that I'm looking at this again, we may have a small problem. We don't have a ladder capable of getting us down to the surface. Oh, it's because it's on the wrong side. Alright, we can fix that real quick. Don't we have a ladder hidden in here somewhere? Because we have one right there. I thought we put a ladder in right here. Okay, I'm glad we checked all these things, because actually, whoops, come on now. Doesn't that look like a ladder right there? Right here? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's part of the battery. Is there the same thing on the other side? Yeah, that's part of the battery, silly goose. So... why does that keep rotating? Why? What the hell? Maybe do this just in case? I don't know if the Kerbals are going to be able to transfer over that. You know what? We're gonna send it. Full send. She's fine. To get a bit more, I'm using good old Matt Lown example. Matt is I love his content. I watch a lot of his content. It's actually how I learned how to do the fairings. I didn't know how to do fairings for a while. I had them unlocked for a while and never used them because I didn't understand exactly how to use them. The third creator that I've been watching a lot lately for KSP, he does, he's currently doing an ultra hardcore playthrough of KSP. His name is Largely Unemployed. His playthrough is actually really interesting because he's got something like 10% gains on stuff. Like, his playthrough is super hardcore. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of stability on this thing. She's a little touchy. Now let's start. Now let's see if we can't. Oops! No! 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 Oh, that would have been super bad. That would have been very, very bad. I'm just gonna let her get over to the prograde and stabilize a little bit. Look at Bill, Bob, and Jeb, the trio of terror. Alright, so now that we're locked on that, we're gonna... Oh, come on. Come on. I don't want to mess up my inclination at all. I'm gonna start picking up speed. Because we need quite a bit of it. Now, one of the things that I need to work on after this mission is I still have never docked two vessels together. I've gotten a bunch of recovery operations, but the closest I've ever gotten to another vessel is like 200 meters. And then I just, after a while of fiddling with it, I was just like, you know what, screw it, and had them spacewalk the last 230 meters. Largely unemployed entertains unemployment. So, yeah. Well, I'm employed. I'm a security guard at nighttime when the business is closed. So while I do have employment, I have a vast amount of disposable time with nothing but my Nintendo Switch and my cell phone. So a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll put on like Matt Lown or Mike or Largely Unemployed, and I'll listen and watch their stuff while I play Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch. Because my entire job is basically, if someone comes on the property, I say, hey, you can't be on the property after hours. You got to come back in the morning after they open at 8 a.m. And most of the time they're like, oh, okay, thank you. I'm like, no problem. Have a great night. And then I write it down. Actually, I don't write it down anymore. We switched to digital. So I text it in my phone. Hey, had someone on property. Had to tell them to get off the property. And then my dispatcher says, all right, cool. And then I go back to playing Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch. I'm wondering if this launch isn't going to go just the same way the last one did. I mean, we're picking up really good speed right now, but we're also losing altitude very fast. I feel like we're losing more altitude than the periapsis is gaining. Come on, bad boy. Come on, baby. We can dip into the atmosphere a little bit, but not too much. We can't afford much more. Come on, girl. Come on, get that fat ass up. This is okay. We can make this work, I think. Our apoapsis is stupid high right now. But we're gaining altitude, which is good. Alright, let's see how screwed we are. Oh, not bad. We're okay. We're okay. And I'm not too worried about that. And as long as... Yeah, no, we're okay. Because even though we're on an eccentric orbit, it's going to help us out later with the Oberth effect. So having this higher, we could even honestly push this closer to the Mund's orbit, because that will save us a little bit later on this stage. Because in all honesty, I'm not 100% sure that we're going to have quite enough to... Actually, before we do that, let's lock on prograde. And actually, you know what? We're going to take this opportunity to take a piece out of... Oh, no. I screwed up. I screwed up, guys. Oh, man. I put the decoupler on the wrong side of the fairing. Oh. That's okay, I guess. We'll just burn it off. Yeah, I think we're okay. Look at that. Now, that booster should come in at the lower altitude and burn up in Kerbin's atmosphere. But I think we're okay. So next step is, oh man, we still have a really long time until Duna's in the transfer window. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, we're going to come around. Actually, first of all, before we do anything else, let's use something else that we've learned in the last 100 hours. And action groups. Action groups are important. Look at that beautiful beast. It's so beautiful. Alright, so now we're going to quick save. And we're going to enter the tracking station. Message removed? Ooh, now you have me curious to see what you removed. Alright, so Satellite 1 is... Oh my goodness, Sat 1 is not even outside of Kerbin's SOI. Let's fly it, though. Because what we're going to do is we're going to try to get Sat 1 into a nice orbit while we wait for a Duna transfer window. This is something else I learned really recently is multitasking. Alright, so... let's see something. How far away is my periapsis, time-wise? It's 155 days. So let's go here. Because we know that our crewed mission is on a stable orbit. So I'm not too worried about leaving them to their own devices for a while. It's an eccentric orbit. Oh, look at that! Look at that! We have our goal, and we were so close to it. Ooh, we're getting pretty good at this. But so basically, all I'm waiting for is if you draw a line from Kerbin to the sun, Duna needs to be somewhere up here in order for us to make a successful transfer for the least amount of fuel possible. So while we're waiting for that window, and don't worry, the Kerbins are fully supplied. They have tons of provisions and food, and they have Netflix or Space Hulu. And in their current orbit, they probably have a decent ping rate to play some Call of Duty, or maybe they're playing Human Space Engineers, or Human Space Program. Space Engineers is also another great game. Alright, so that time warp is complete. So let's see... Whoops, come on. Let's just see what happens if we warp all the way. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a maneuver node. And we're going to go here. And we're going to play with this maneuver node a little bit. We're going to give it a little bit of retrograde. Retrograde, 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 retrograde. That's about perfect. Oh, that's pretty sexy right there. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. That's 10 million. That's 250. All right, we can drop this down a tiny bit. $10,257,000. That's got to be good enough, I would imagine. I would imagine that that's pretty damn close. So let's lock this on the target. And we can go watch our maneuver. That little dual poodle engine. And let's double check the Kerbin transfer window to Duna. Yeah, we're nowhere near it. So we have enough time to finish this burn and get this mission on track. So now let's time warp 6 days. 3, 2, 1 day. Let's slow her down just a little bit. 5 hours. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, well, we can go a little faster. Come on. Hey, more people coming in. Welcome in. If you're coming in for the very first time, thank you, thank you. Welcome to some Kerbal Space Program. And we're not going to overcook this time warp, I promise. I'm going to pay attention to the screen. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, 48 minutes. All right. So we want to start this burn somewhere around the 1 minute, 7 seconds mark-ish. 8, 7, 8. Maybe 1 minute, 8 seconds. It's not too important because we're in the middle of interstellar space, so it's pretty forgiving. But we're going to time warp a little faster. Without overcooking our time warp. I have a really bad habit of overcooking time warp. And I know I say overcooking a lot, but it kind of applies. One minute. So let's get it within 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's what we're shooting for, is 1 minute and 30 seconds right here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's close enough. We're not going to overdo it. Alright. And here we go. In T-minus 10 seconds. 5, 4, 2 seconds. That poodle engine's putting in the work. Thank you so much for all the likes, guys. If you are being shy and don't want me to know who you are, the like is appreciated. But if you want me to know who you are and say thank you, good and proper, make sure you leave a comment down below. Because as always, the likes are largely, mostly 100%, I think, anonymous. I can't actually see who likes the stream, but I can see you if you leave a comment. Did we finish the contract? All right. And we have satisfied the contract requirements for the orbit itself. And we still have almost 2,000 meters per second left in this stage alone before we switch to the nuclear stage. So now, I think what we need to do is angle away from the sun. I don't know if it matters, but my head cannon matters, so... Whoops. What the hell is happening here? There we go. I'm gonna turn that off. And then I think we have to activate the satellite. Start object tracking. 24 science, we will do it. And start object tracking. I think that's all we need to do, right? I'm pretty sure that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and put her in standby mode. So that just takes off the RCS. That's my head cannon anyway. That's not like an actual thing in the game. And then we can save. We can return to the tracking station. And where is our transfer Duna transfer status? Oh, we still got a long ways to go. So let's look at that. We're getting all those near Kerbal objects. What is this, though? I wonder what that is. Okay, so we're coming up on the transfer window. So let's go ahead and stop here so we can go do some maintenance real quick. We're going to leave the tracking station. We're going to go check on the status of that contract. Yes, it looks like we've completed it. So this one is 15 million? What was the other one? So did we complete it? I want to know that we completed it. Yeah, we did. So this one with a Sentinel map 20. Okay, so this one needs to go around Duna. Interesting. Okay, we can do that. So we'll go in here, and we'll just launch the same exact vessel, really. It worked really well the first time. There's no reason to make any changes. So we're going to open craft. We're going to go down and find Sat 1. Sat 1. And there's really no need to make any changes to it. All right. And off we go with satellite launch number 2. I really should have checked the amount of money it takes to launch these. And we're going to try to work on getting our launches a little bit better. The last 3 launches were rather sloppy. Welcome in, one and all. Thank you so much for clicking on my little live video. We're playing some Kerbal Space Program. If you're not familiar, it is a physics simulator where you take over the Kerbal Space Program and accomplish missions, build rockets and planes and space stations, and you go out and explore the wide world of the Kerbal system. Why are we not staging? What is happening here? This is bad. Why are we not staging? Alright, we do it the hard way then. Not sure why staging wasn't working. This is bad, prograde. Need to get some stability in here. Oh, I forgot. There we go. I forgot that part wasn't strutted. And here we thought we were going to have a more efficient and better launch. What is happening with my control setup? Oh my goodness, this is... What the heck is happening here? Why is my control so wonky now? Alright, something's not right here. Something's not right. My controls are not this bad. What is going on with this thing? Like, I know the controls in KSP Console Edition are really bad, but holy cow. Like, what is going on with this? Maybe I need to restart the game. I swear to you guys, I'm not usually this bad at launches. Okay, fully admit, I'm almost always this bad at launches. No, I'm really not. I'm thinking about it. My launches are not... Maybe it's because I'm using probe cores instead of Kerbals. Maybe I'm not accounting for the Kerbal presence on board the ship. It's always a good possibility there. Make sure... Yeah, the thrust limiter's good. Maybe the Rhino engine is just not the right engine for this job. Maybe I should switch to the mainsail. Oh no, I think we have a pretty good cruise going on here. I think we have a really good cruising going on here. I don't want to jinx it, but... So, what I'm looking at right now is right here and right here. These two numbers are what matter to me. This number is going up, which means we're keeping our apoapsis in front of us, which is a good thing. This number is going up, which means our periapsis is going to soon come out on the other side of the planet, which gives us a stable orbit, which is also a very good thing. We could probably angle down a little bit more and trade off some of that for speed. Let's just lock onto prograde. Now watch this magic happen. So let's time warp a little bit, because we're running out of time for this live stream. So we need to try to start moving with more of a purpose. More of a purpose than that. Come on, old girl. Should have put RCS on the outer stages. It would have made turning a lot faster. No problem, Star. Here in about a half hour, I'm probably going to have to either shut down and go get the wife from work, or just, you know, I might end up leaving the stream on and just watching the drift out to Duna, because I really wanted to get to Duna this stream before I ended it. I did not think it was going to take this long to realign, but I guess there's a ton of mass here. I'm curious to know. Yeah, we're using up a little bit of electricity, but not a ton. We'll just go ahead and post that there. Just for funsies. Alright. So that's good there. What's our Duna transfer looking like? Ooh, we're getting close to it. Now, look at how much Delta V we have left in this. That is super fantastic. Let's go ahead and quick save. We'll just go to the tracking station. Alright. We're going to have to rename that. They're both named Sat-1. Let's go ahead and rename it real quick so we don't get confused later. How? Maybe I can't rename it until I lose the fairing. That's possible. Alright, I'm not going to sweat with it. I want to get us on a course to Duna before I have to leave, which should be doable. Alright, Kerbals are doing great. They're well fed, well taken care of. Alright. I know we're jumping back and forth, but I'm getting scatterbrained because I'm trying to hurry now. So, where's Kerbin? Kerbin is here, so Duna is there. So let's do a little bit of catch up to Duna. Not yet. Not yet. Somewhere about right here-ish. Maybe a little bit more. Somewhere like that, I think, is a good sweet spot. So now, let's go back to here. Where is our orbit taking us? So, if we put a maneuver node somewhere in here, and we switch to this, and we jack that up, and we go out, and we prograde. Let's see. Oh wait, I almost forgot one important part. Haha, silly me. Set as target. Alright, so now, whoops. Let's bring that back a little bit. Pull that down a little bit. Now we just play with these maneuvers until we can achieve an encounter. What if I go back this way? A little more prograde, maybe? I mean, we're already using 1186, so maybe prograde's not the key here. Can we get an encounter without increasing the usage? No, we cannot. So let's go back to here, somewhere along that, and give it some more prograde. Close right there. Nope, wrong way. Oh, interesting. And just like that, I think we have a Dune encounter. Let's see what that Dune encounter looks like. Oh, that's actually not a bad encounter going on here. I like that encounter. Alright, let's lock on to target. And we're going to use 1500, so that leaves us... Ooh. That's not fantastic. So 4,000 minus 1,500 is 2,500-ish. That's not perfect. So can we... there's no way to shave any off of it either. What happens if I skip ahead in orbit? Where does that put us at? Whoops. So let's skip ahead another orbit, and another orbit, and another orbit, and another orbit. Let's just keep skipping ahead for a little bit. See if we can't shave some of that off. Whoops. That took away the encounter altogether. And puts us there. So can I shave off any? Man. Nope. Now we're getting farther away. Come on. I think that's as good as it's going to get. We shaved off a little bit, but still not a huge fan of it. It is what it is, though. So let's time warp to that maneuver. Man, I wonder, there's got to be a better way to do this. Oh shit. Fuck me. We blew past it. I overcooked that damn time warp because I'm in a hurry now. I'm sure we can make a mid-course correction to fix that. let's see what we can do about a mid-course correction here. And we're just tweaking it until we get where we want it. And I'm not sure exactly how high Duna's atmosphere is either. Because I wouldn't mind using a little bit of aero braking. I don't want to crash into it. So I think that's as good as we're going to get for now, which is pretty good for 80 meters per second. And won't kill us off too much. But in all honesty, I don't know about a landing on this one, boys. Let me double check my stats real quick. Let's go to the Discord. You know what, let me see if I can't get my Wi-Fi to connect real quick so we can do this a mite bit faster. Apparently my Wi-Fi is saying, hell no. Yeah, I don't know why my Wi-Fi won't let me hook up. Alright, so for a Duna landing, come on. So we're about here. Oh, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm gonna need about 1,800 to... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have quite enough Delta V for all this. So we need 1450-ish to land, but we can use aero braking to shave that down. 360 to land. So let's say 1,500. 15, 16, 17, 18. It's around 2,000 by itself to launch. Yeah. This is going to be close. This is going to be super tight on budget, guys. So what we're going to do... We're going to go ahead and make a hard save so we don't accidentally override our quick save at the wrong time. Alright, so we did that. Tracking station. Now we need to get the satellite in a proper orbit. So... boo-ba-doo, boop-boo-da-boo. Alright. Now let's repeat that process again. So... that's the Getsuga. Okay. So now let's add a maneuver here. We're gonna add a crap ton of prograde. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too much prograde. Too much prograde. Now, oh, we need the mission parameters. Which one is that? Here we go. Alright. Collect temperature data. Build a new orbital station. Right here. Here we go. 15.5. Okay, so what's our current? That's at 18. So let's go maneuver. Let's drop that down considerable. So we need about 15.5, and that's 15.571. That's actually right on the money. All right. Groovy. So now... we're just waiting for this long, slow, arduous process of it lining up with the node. The maneuver node. Well, hello, hello, and welcome. If you're dropping in for the first time, I appreciate it. Let me know how you're doing today. Maybe consider hitting the thumbs up button. Maybe subscribe if you want to see more Kerbal programming. Alright, so... so we'll start this at about 126-ish. 125, 126. 126 should be good. Four, 3, 2. All right. All right. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initiate burn. We're just burning our satellite into a close to proper orbit. Get that Poodle engine going. It should be just about good enough. All right. Now, what's going on here? What are we... What's this? Kerbal space... Oh, that's Kerbin. Okay. It's that one. No, that's the Getsuga. So let's get that time warp going. Alright, so let's take a step back. I think my encounter for Duna is up here. And... You know what? You know what? I know what we're going to do here. Maybe not. Shit. You mean I can't just deploy this? Well, that's stupid. I don't want to get rid of 4,000 meters per second worth of delta V. What if I do this? Wait, actually, it shouldn't matter. I won't lose the fairing, so... What the shit nugget? Why? Oh, it's probably because... Is it a signal issue? How do I know if I have signal? Is it... Oh my goodness, how do I know? Oh. Alright. That's why we save it. That's why we save it. We ran out of electricity. But that's okay. I think. We might be able to fix this. I totally forgot that we don't have a good amount of power on this vessel. And so I think what we did is, on the last one, come on. So now we can deploy that, extend solar panel, extend solar panel. There. So now we shouldn't die. Whoops. What the hell? Alright. Now let's see about that contract. Whoops, not that one. This one. Do this. 15.5. Okay. What's it at now? 16, so... Whoops. We can do just a tiny bit better. A little bit better here. Tiny bit worse. Tiny bit worse. Yeah, right there. Alright, so now we lock onto the maneuver. What the hell? Alright. We'll give that a few minutes to get onto that target. We're gonna have to leave in about 20 minutes to go get the wife from work, so we got 20 more minutes to get to Duna. I seriously doubt we have enough Delta V to do a Duna landing, though, which is really disappointing. I may end up doing a Duna landing anyway, and then maybe just sending another vessel later to rescue them. It'll be expensive, but we also didn't put docking ports. So maybe we do, but take out all the science and take out the put in a probe core so we can pilot it remotely. And we should have enough Delta V to get the fellas to the ground and back up to orbit. And if that's the case, then we can just launch 1 minute and 45 seconds. So right around 50 seconds. So if that's the case, if we can manage to do at least that, then I wouldn't be opposed to just sending a second vessel stripped down of the science and whatnot, getting the boys down to Duna, collecting all the science, planting a flag, and bringing them back up. Maybe put them on Ike, because we do have a contract to plant a flag on Ike, so that would pay for some of the launch anyway. And then the rescue vessel could be unmanned. And then we could just take the rescue vessel down to Ike and pick the boys up. Or maybe... maybe just leave them in orbit around Duna for the rescue mission, because I think that'd be a little bit easier, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to see what kind of a Delta V we have once this happens. Because we can make plans all day long, and if we don't have the Delta V for it, we don't have the Delta V for it. There. Now we're back on track. Quick save. Alright. Tracking station. Did I ever deploy the solar panels on this? Man, I hope so. I did. Alright, cool. Cool. Maybe I should switch this out with a Poodle engine. You know what I really gotta do one of these days is put these lights on with the rest of the lights so my Kerbals aren't just chilling in the dark all the time. Okay, now Now these burns aren't too awful twitchy. But I really don't see my orbital line either, which is mildly concerning. Ah, there she is. And that's okay. Because what we can do... we can burn a little prograde. I'm determined to land on Duna. The question is how do we get back? God. Okay. Alright. You know what we're going to have to do? First of all, we're going to have to double check these RCS thrusters. Yep, just what I thought. That's the only RCS I put on this thing? Eesh. This thing is engineered horribly. But that's okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to... whoops. Go to here. Go to here. Go to here. Go back to here. And... oh wait, I need to go back to here. No, go to here. Okay. Now go back to here. What does that put us at? Yeah, we'll do that. Now let's do a quick save. Actually, with how long that is, we should double check the satellite. Man, operating a space program for little Kerbals is hard. I also have to rename Sat-1 to Sat-2. Let's just do that right now. I just don't know how to rename the vessel. Rename vessel right there. Edit name. Actually, we're going to call this the Close Object Detection Satellite 2. not a lander, it's not a station. We'll call it a probe. Alright, did that change it? Yeah, it changed it. Now, how long do we have until apoapsis? Oh, I suppose it'd be easier to look at here. 104 days. Alright, so tracking station. Alright. Now, how long do we have till Duna? It's not really telling me anything. Ugh. Alright. So... 152 days. So 152 days. Add maneuver. That's 29 days. Let's do about 100 days, I think. You know what? I can just time warp 100 days. Alright, let's back that off for just a second. Let's go back here. So we have 35 days left until we reach that. So that's plenty of time. So we have 35 days. I got to remember, 35 days. Come on. No, you didn't. You probably didn't miss it. Thanks for dropping in, Jittery, by the way. You probably didn't miss it. So I have about 18 or 20 episodes. I don't know how you say it, planned. They're in the storage right now, so the streams are about 20 episodes ahead of the what you call it, regular episodes, because I can record faster than I can actually post. So when I go live, you guys are seeing the results of episodes that haven't happened yet. So wait a minute, I'm in the wrong satellite, ain't I? Am I in the wrong satellite? Oosh. What's this one? Uh-oh. I think I picked the wrong satellite. Tracking station? So you're not missing anything, I mean, per se. It just hasn't been posted yet. Because I only post... So how long till this? I still have a while, I think. Let me go double check how long we got. You're not missing anything per se, but if I tried to post everything that I had, I would be posting 2 or 3 videos a week just to catch up, and that would tank my analytics hard. Alright, now we're in the right satellite. Oh, I missed it. Shit. Ah, fudge. Alright, so... Oh, no, I didn't. It's still coming up. No, I missed it. Man. So what if I go and do some retrograde burn? Let's take a look here. Let's see what we can do to salvage this. My inclination's a little bit off too. So let's see. So many things going on at once. I need to do prograde burn. A lot of prograde burn. So let's tank that up a little. Alright, that's a little much. What if I... I might have to fix that some other time. So... Probably a bad idea to try to fix this now. I screwed it up. Man, it's always when I'm in a hurry and pressed for time that I make these kinds of mistakes. Maybe I just do that for now. You know what? We need to focus on... Let's do prograde real quick. We're just going to do a burn to get us away from Kerbin, because I don't want to intercept Kerbin on my next pass through, and we need to focus on the Duna landing right now. Hell yeah, Jittery. Appreciate that plug, my guy. So we're just going to do a generic prograde burn with no real plan here. So that way we can get away from Kerbin on the next pass around. And then hopefully we can do something to fix this orbit a little bit later. I think that'll be fine for now. That should get us away from Kerbin plenty. There we go. Maximize that solar effort. Tracking station. Alright, let's see, because I don't think we're going to have the Delta V budget to land, takeoff, and return again. So, Jittery, the situation here on this current mission is we burned quite a bit more. I think we need to replace some engines, honestly. I think we need to get rid of the Rhino and go back to the mainsail, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, because we're burning more Delta V than we really should be, getting to this particular point. What the hell? Why can't... Oh, I am zooming out. Okay. So we have... Oh, yeah, I don't think we're going to have enough Delta V to do everything that we want to do here. So I think I am borderline desperate for a Duna landing. So what do you think about doing our Duna landing and then sending an unmanned craft with enough seats for the crew? Because I think if we play this properly, we should be able to do our Duna landing. Alright, so this is what we're left with. Let's get in a little closer. And let's lock onto a retrograde. Just for funsies. But what do you think about doing a Duna landing with the Delta V we have left? We should be able to take off again and reach some kind of orbit. Alright, let's back that down. So, this is our current situation. Whoops. Why can't I target Duna now? Oh wait, whatever. I don't care. We don't need the target system on for this. So this is our current flight path. I can do a retrograde burn here, because I really don't know how thick Duna's atmosphere is and how much aerobraking we're actually going to get. So... I can do this... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can do this for now. That uses up a considerable chunk of our Delta V left, but I don't think we're going to need it all. That's just a worst case scenario. So we land on Duna, we get the achievement, we get the science, and if we have enough Delta V left, we retake off, get into an orbit, and then we launch a rescue ship, an unmanned rescue ship of similar build. We can get rid of the science. That'll save a little bit of weight. We can get rid of the landing gear and the structures underneath to save a little bit of weight. We could even switch this out for a nuclear-powered engine and drain the oxidizer to save a considerable amount of mass. Because the next rescue ship is not going to need to land. It's only going to need to get close enough for Jeb, Bill, and Bob to grab science and jump over. And then we can deorbit this to save the solar bears. Okay, so Duna does give a considerable amount of aerobraking. That's awesome to know. I was not sure. And we can even increase this a little bit. Alright. I need to reaction group this. Actually, I'm not going to worry about it right now. So let's try this. Wait, wait, wait! So we're going to rename this the Duna Final Approach. So that way we can come back here if we need to. We're coming in pretty good. All right. All right. We're picking up a lot of speed. All right. So Duna's atmosphere starts at 50,000. That's good to know. We're gonna parachute, arm all the parachutes. Oh shit! Nope, 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 nope. That was bad, 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 bad. I forgot to check my staging. Always double check your frickin' staging. I swear to God, this staging resets because I swear to Bob that I've reset this staging a dozen times to deal with this issue. So I swear on me mama, on me mother, that this staging gets screwed up on its own. But that's okay. Alright. So now the parachutes are armed. I'll wait to extend the landing legs for now. We're starting to get atmosphere. I just need to double check. Yep, alright. Landing legs are on action group 5. Are you proud of me, Jittery? I am using action groups like a pro now. I really don't know what my target speed should be. Three. Alright, what's going to slow us down to? 50, 40. Come on, keep slowing us down. 30. Oh. Come on, don't hover. Booyah! We did it! We landed on Duna! Now, let's do that. Little wobbly there. Not sure I'm a fan of that. Now, the moment of truth. I should have put these ladders on a action group that I could remember. Alright. Let's take data. Oh, the RCS is in the way. Oh, no. Oh, man. I might have a solution to that, though. Can this be done right now? I don't think it can be. Yeah, that can't be done right now. Collect data. Restore. Well, shit. Maybe. Maybe I have an idea. Whoops. Maybe I have an idea. So can I... How do I use the Kerbals to move things? Because I have an engineer. I thought I've seen people do this before, where you can use the engineer. Multiple brake. I'm going to have to practice that. Because I'm always so paranoid that even with aero braking, that I'm just going to go off into the wild blue yonder on the other side. Oh shit, I gotta go. I gotta go like right now. I'm going to be late picking my wife up. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I might go live again after I get back and make her dinner and do some cleaning up. We're going to call this the Duna Surface. We're going to put... I don't know how to change... I thought you could... I've seen people use the engineers to build on the surface and like repack parachutes and stuff, and I don't know how to do that. But that's going to be a different question for a different time. My wife's going to be mad at me already, so... Thank you guys so much for dropping in. Oh, hold on. What'd you say? Yeah, you can aero brake. Oh, yeah, multiple passes. I'm going to practice. I'm getting better, though. We made it to Duna. So thank you guys so much for dropping in. I might end up going live again in a couple hours after I take care of the wife and feed her and make sure she's good for the night. Because I'm addicted to Kerbal, and we have 2,117 meters per second, and I'm super eager to find out if that's going to be enough to get us back. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to necessarily work if we can't repack those parachutes, but I think I don't know how to use the... See you next time. Hello! We're just getting ready to shut down, man. I have to go pick the wife up. Thank you so much for dropping in. If you want, check back in about 2 hours. In about 2 hours, we're going to be maybe going live again to try to finish this mission out. The two questions we have is, do we have enough Delta V with what we have left in the tanks to get back to Kerbin? And can we repack parachutes with the Kerbals that I brought? Because I don't understand how some of the people I watch make modifications to their ship. I have a Kerbal engineer. He's a high-level Kerbal engineer, mid-level, I think, is a better way to say it. So I'm going to have to find out if I can, A, repack these parachutes, because if I can't repack these parachutes, a return to Kerbal is going to be a rough landing. And B, can I move this RCS thruster to plant a flag? Because if I can just move this RCS thruster over just a tiny bit, then we can get all the way down the ladder, grab a surface sample, and our main mission here is pretty much done. But once we get back to orbit, we're going to try repacking the parachutes to see if that'll work, because I don't know how to do that either. Can I just... No, I cannot just repack it from this. So we're going to have to figure it out. But that's going to be next time. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. Remember to hit the likes, comments, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. But until then, bye-bye.